Alright, welcome everybody. Today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be demoing our mobile app platform. I'm going to be quickly going through some of the features that are available on our mobile app platform and how that can be customized for your agency. So what you see here is you're seeing my actual phone screen, and so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you some of the steps that you can go through, how it works, and the features available. So the mobile app, the IXN mobile app, the way it works is it's a branded mobile app for your agency. So first of all, if I go to the Google Play Store, so I'm on an Android device. It's also available on Apple as well, so iOS, probably more of a common platform. But if I go here and I search for life insurance quotes, you'll see that quite a few different options come up after. And after the ads here, you can see there's the IXN mobile app. This one's one that we built. This one we built. We built this one. So we're very good at not only building apps but putting them in the stores. And I want to be clear that this is not a mobile browser. So a lot of people nowadays claim that they have a mobile app, but it's not necessarily an actual mobile app. It's more of just a mobile optimized web page, whereas this is an actual app that goes in the App Store, Google Play Store. There's a lot of value to that because that's the way that people nowadays download apps on their phone. That's how they access tools. It's also built out natively, so it's accessed better and more efficiently through the phone. So we're going to open up CityCrest Financial here. Let me log out real quick. Basically, after someone downloads your app, they come to this screen. Now, this is CityCrest Financial. CityCrest Financial is our demo platform. This here would have your brand right here in the middle instead of CityCrest Financial. So whether 123 Agency or whatever the name of your agency is, that can be placed right there. So they come here and they see a couple different things. They see two options here. They see I'm an agent and I'm a consumer. And then down here there's a phone button and an email button, which is basically a way for them to reach out to your agency without having to go look you up on Google. So if they're having trouble creating an account or logging in. Now the meat of the app is designed for agents. It's designed for agents to use to download on their phone, to run quotes on, and some of the different features. However, you'll see that there's an I'm a consumer option. The app wasn't necessarily built to be a consumer-facing app. It's built for BGAs, IMOs, in the life insurance industry. However, we found that when you put a free app in the App Store and the Google Play Store, inevitably consumers are going to come across it. Whether they're looking for life insurance, they're doing some research, or anything like that, inevitably it's going to happen. So we're finding that we were getting a lot of downloads and then installs, and we weren't capturing who that was, who downloaded it and installed it. And so we added the I'm a consumer piece. So I'm going to start there. So when you click on I'm a consumer, it takes you here. Now this is all customizable, not just the logo that you saw on the initial screen, but also the background colors, the colors of the buttons, things like that. But you come here and you can customize this text, and it's basically like, hey, when shopping for life insurance, it shouldn't be difficult, etc., etc. There are two options here. They can say I'm working with an agent, at which point, if you've got all your agents loaded into the back end dashboard, which I'll show you in a second here, they would be able to search for them and bring up their info here. Or they can search by name, zip, state, all that kind of stuff. Or they can click find an agent for me. And so the difference there is if they select an agent, then the lead from this piece would go directly to that agent, versus if they say find an agent for me, the lead would go to your agency, and then you could select which agent, forward it on to which agent you want to use it, or if you have a direct method of selling, sell it yourself. So when we go to run a quote, it comes to when is your birthday. So we put in a date of birth. We put in a gender, a state. So let's say we're in Washington, for example. Tobacco, yes or no. It's pretty simple. We made this kind of a 4-star health rating system rather than a preferred plus, preferred, standard plus standard. So it's kind of fun because it's for consumers, right? So most consumers don't know how to rate themselves anyway. So 4 stars is I'm very active, eat right, don't smoke, my body's my temple. 3 stars is I'm pretty active, have the right diet, holding my own, age is a state of mind. 1 star is I don't want to talk about it. So we try to make that fun. So let's say we're a preferred plus, we go next, and this is simply terms. So it's how much for how long. They click get quotes, it takes a few seconds, and we'll have the quote results here. And this one has about 110 carriers turned on. So I wanted to show you that we quote a whole bunch of different carriers, but then you can also customize that list of carriers that can be quoted here. So this one has all the carriers turned on. So you see it's a really long list. There's some small carriers here. There's we quote pretty much every major carrier. But this one has them all turned on, and you can customize which carriers and which products are quoted here. So let's say we like protective here. We can choose the custom choice UL, and when we click on it, it shows a little bit more information, and then we click request application. As a consumer, remember I'm a consumer filling this out. I fill this out, put in my info here, click submit application. Congratulations, your application request has been sent successfully, and an agent will contact you soon. And you can see I just got a lead here in my email. So, a new lead came in, here's the lead source, here's the quote criteria they ran, here's the quote that they selected. So as the agent here, you can see that came to me. So I can then go new quote if I want and run another quote if we want to do that. But I don't want to run another quote. But that's the entirety of what's available on the I'm a consumer piece. Now if I'm an agent, this is where the meat of the app lives. It's designed for agents to use it. If I click on I'm an agent, it comes to a login screen. So you have to have an account to access this mobile app. If they don't have an account, they can click down here that says don't have an account, sign up down here at the bottom. If we click on that, it will come to a create an account screen where we just need a little bit of information, including email, first name, last name, phone number, city, state, zip, and password. And so the agent can then put in their info. That as the agency, as the admin of the mobile app, you get notified every time someone creates an account if you want to be notified, and you can then reach out to the agent. I've had agencies have a lot of success with this, using this as a recruiting tool, whether they're going to NAFA events and handing out little cards that say download our mobile app. They're sending out mailers, email marketing campaigns, all kinds of things. I've seen different agencies have a lot of success recruiting agents and then contacting them once they come in through the app here. And so there's different ways to use this successfully, but this is kind of a recruiting aspect of it. Now I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in here. Oops. So, and one thing to remember is once your agent is logged in, they really stay logged in, and so it's pretty simple from there. Now you can see this came directly to our life quotes tool. Now this can be customized, so this is you can have it go to like a menu here if you want. You can see there's when I click on the top right, there's a menu that pops out from the right here that's got some different options. You can have it go to a certain tool, but yeah, so that's all customizable. The whole app, a lot of it is really customizable to your agency, and especially the branding. But yeah, so the main way that people use this app, probably the number one tool it's used for. There's a bunch of tools. This is more than just like a life quoting tool. This is a platform, and so. But one of the main tools that people use is the quoting and drop ticket feature. Now, there's a couple different ways to access it. I can go right into the quote and just fill out some information and run a quote, or I can start here with needs analysis. I really like this feature because a lot of agents don't know exactly how to kind of just tell their client how much insurance they need. A calculator is really helpful. It's even helpful to just help the client build trust. I mean, to show them, hey, this is calculating it for us. So I'm not just telling you how much you need because I want a high commission. I'm telling you because of your debt, your required monthly income, the years you want this to last, the mortgage that you have, education, things like that. So it kind of builds trust in the recommendation of the agent. So that's one use case. Another use case is, hey, I'm a PNC agent and I honestly don't know how much the client needs, and so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to sit down with the client. We're going to figure this out. So let's say we go in here and we put in our debt. Let's say we've got $10,000 in debt. We need about $5,000 a month in income. We want it to last for 20 years. We have a mortgage with $500,000 on it. We want to leave our kids with, let's say we've got four kids, and we want $50,000 for education for each of them, which nowadays isn't very much. And then for final expense, we want $50,000. Down at the bottom, it gives you a total insurance need of $1,960,000. We go next. And then we can put in existing insurance. Let's say they have a small policy through work for $250,000, and in savings we have $20,000 saved. Then it gives you a net insurance need of $1,690,000. We can then click Run Life Insurance Quote. It populates that amount right in here to the coverage amount when we go to run the quote, and then we can customize some of the rest of it. So let's say they're born May 8th, 1981. They're male. They don't smoke. They want a 20-year term. They are let's just say Standard Plus. They're in the state of Massachusetts, and they want to pay. Their preferred payment mode is monthly. They click Calculate. This here is an ad space that you can control. So while the agent is in here running quotes, at the point of sale or at the point of contact here, when they're looking for rates, you can advertise to them. Now you can see this is obviously a protective ad promoting one of their products, the Custom Choice Shoe Well. But let's say you have a trip that you're doing for your top advisors this year. So hey, we're doing a cruise for our top 50 advisors, or you're trying to promote a specific product from a carrier like here, or you just want to let people know about a webinar coming up. You can make this clickable. You can have multiple ads running at the same time that then cycle out, things like that. So this is totally owned by you, and you can customize it. We click Continue to Quotes, and then here we have our quote results. Now you can see it's a little bit different than what you saw in the consumer-facing one. This is also going to be getting an overhaul here soon, coming up in January, so we're really excited about that. So we just did a YouTube video recently about that, so check out our YouTube channel there. But again, this one has 110 carriers turned on, so we've got a lot of options here. Most agencies are going to be somewhere between 5 to 20 carriers. And so, most people are not going to have all the carriers turned on. But that's up to you how you want to do that. Now we come down here and, we can see the different quotes. Actually, I'm going to run it again because I want to show you a specific process. So we're going to run it again real quick here. And get to the quote results. It takes a few seconds with 110 carriers turned on. There we go. And here we have our quote results. Now from here, there's a couple different things we can do. We can change the payment mode down here, so we can change it to annual payment mode, monthly, quarterly, really quickly on the fly. We can click on the carrier here, and you can see it's not the request application button anymore. Now there's a text option, an email option, and an e-ticket option. If I click on text, what it'll do is it'll bring up my messaging and it'll have me send a text message. So let's say I want to send this to Bryce here. It'll say it'll auto populate a quote with a little bit of information, and with the actual quote and coverage amount, product name, all that. So it'll auto create that. We can also email it, at which point it'll open up whatever default emailing app you have on your phone. So I open up my email here, and it pops right into email, and I can see the quote information. This has a little bit more detail, and you can then add to it, of course, if you want to click here and let's say this is for Joe. You say, "Hi, Joe." And then we want to add. Let's move this down. Here is your life insurance quote. Bam. So now we just customize it a little bit, at which point I would put in Joe. And this is coming from my email, right? So this would just, I would type in their email address from here. And you can see it put my signature in here because it's using my email on my phone. So yeah, so you can email the quote from here, but probably the coolest feature here is that you can also actually submit business from here. So you can click on e-ticket, that's our version of a drop ticket, and you can do a quick short application from here. So let me show you how quick it is to actually submit the business to the carrier. I can, first of all, I select the payment mode. So let's say this is for John M. Doe. I put in their social. We're going to put in their address here. Their city, Boston, Massachusetts. Their phone number. Their email address. Okay, and I can click down here at the bottom if I want to see the quote information again at any time. So this is the first page. We go next. Then it asks if the proposed insured will be the owner of this policy. If it's a no, then we need to put in the owner. We can put in a person, company, or trust. Pretty simple. If it's yes, then we just go next. Enforce policies. Does the proposed insured have any life insurance or annuities currently in force? If we want to add an enforced policy, we click the plus, and it asks for the insured name, face amount, policy number, year issued, and whether or not this is a replacement for that policy. We can put in multiple policies here if we need, and we can also get rid of them here. So let's say there's no enforced policies. We then go next. We then put in the agent information. This information usually is auto-populated from our dashboard, which I'll show you here in a minute. That's the back-end tool this is all managed through. But I come in here, I put in the street address, I put in, you can see all my information as the agent's already populated. You can even have it populate the contract number. Usually the admin uploads those into the back-end system. The question the question here that I probably get the most questions about is this contracting field. So are you contracted with Protective Life? So there's three options: yes, and I know my contract number, at which point you would put in the contract number right here. If it's yes, but I don't know my contract number, then you can still continue on in every state except for Pennsylvania, but you have to, the agency will be notified that a case was submitted without a contract number, so you'll need to get that over to Protective. Or there's a no, at which point you would need to get the agent contracted. But again, they can still submit it to Protective, it just goes into a holding pattern. So for right now, we'll just put yes, and we'll put in some info here. Oops, it's going to be a number. We don't store socials, so the agent does need to know their social in order to submit this. Relationship to proposed insured, so we're just going to say no relation. There is an option for commission split here as well, so it says, will you be splitting the commission? What you'll see is down here at the bottom, this is actually the last page where we're actually done after this, but if I add a commission split, it adds one more page for the second agent's information. So we'll just say no right here. There's a few yes or no questions here about the client and the policy. Then there's an agent attestation. We agree to that. We click submit. And we're done. And that gets submitted right into the protective backend system. So yeah, and then we go back to the quotes and we're done. And I just got a notification as the agency owner that, hey, there was a ticket submitted through the platform here. Here's all the information. So that's probably the most utilized tool. There's a couple different options here. We also have an integration with Applicant for their Express Complete option. You can customize this. So if you want this button to go out to like a carrier website, if there's another platform that you want to integrate with, there's a lot of different options for how to customize what that button does there. We've got integrations with companies. We've got our own platform. We've got you can build your own if you want. So if you want to go into like a form, like a contact form, where you want to control the whole process where it comes to your agency, and then you find a way to submit it to the carrier, whatever you want to do there. So there's several different options. So yeah. Now let me show you some of the other features here in the mobile app. So for example, there's a notification section. This is a push notifications. So if you're familiar with push notifications, it comes sort of like a text message, or you can see up here in my pull down bar, it would come here. So like here's Facebook. Facebook just sent me a push notification, right? But that would have your brand here instead of Facebook. So it would say, let's say it's Citycrest Financial. It would have the Citycrest Financial logo here, and it would say Citycrest Financial, and then it would have a subject and a message here. And then if they click that, it would take them right into the app, and it would show them the notification. So pretty cool, whole new way to interact with your agents. So, if you're doing like a webinar, if you want to use it for case underwriting status, or if you want to let them know about a rate update or something like that. So totally up to you how you want to use that. You can see your ticket submitted here. So it's just a basic view. So, we did John Doe here. So you can see that got submitted to Protective. The data was created. It doesn't show everything because we're concerned about security. And so we want to make sure we show just basic information. There's a resources section, really unique. This is where you can put content in. So like I said, this is more than just a quoting tool. This is a platform. So if you want to put some content in here about annuities, or link out to an annuity rate engine, in a mobile app, there's something called a web view. And what a web view is it's basically a browser that works within the mobile app. So if you've ever used Facebook or Instagram, and you click on the link within that platform, it doesn't actually take you out to like a Safari or a Chrome browser. It just opens up a browser within that actual app. And it works the same way with our mobile app. So if I come here and I click on annuity rates, this is just moving me out to a link for this contact form here. But you can see I never really left the mobile app here. I can, if I want to, I can click this button up at the top right. But if I click on X, it just takes me back to where I was. And so you can put whatever content you want in here. If you want to put sales tips in here, or have a brochure about how to sell a specific product, or you want to put some product brochures in here, or events, you want to put your event calendar and in here, or schedule of events, or let's say you have a meeting with all your agents, you want to put the map to the event in here, all that kind of stuff. You can customize this, and it can be customized on the fly. It doesn't require an app update to be able to customize that. Move this thing out of the way. There's a pre-screener tool. This is pretty cool. So this is, let's say your agent is sitting with a client. A lot of times they need some help with underwriting that client. There's special health circumstances that they need help with. This is a contact form that we've developed to basically be able to submit that client's information to you. There's no PII in here. There's no way this is connected to any client. It's just general information. So they put in the age, gender, height, weight, weight change in the past 12 months, tobacco use, face amount, policy type, state, medications, health history, hospitalizations, surgeries, family death, history of drug abuse. And if you see, if I click on yes here, it'll say please provide details. If I click on the plus for health history, you can type in what the situation there is. Click next, travel outside the US, hazardous activities, adverse driving record, and then there's a submit option. And they click on submit, that would come to you, and then you could get back to that client with the details of how to essentially select their health category and underwrite that case. So that's the underwriting pre-screener tool. We showed you the needs analysis here. There's a videos tool, which is pretty cool. So if you want to put like a YouTube video or a Vimeo video or something available here within the app, like here we've got a couple different ones. Here was a webinar we did. Here's a how to use this app tutorial video. And I can click on that, and what it'll do is it'll open up that YouTube player and show you and it'll actually play it right here in the app. That was me when I still had hair. But yeah, so within a web view, like I was saying. And so I can click X and it takes me back to where I was. There's also a share button on the right. So if I want to share this via text message or Facebook or Twitter, things like that, you can share it right from here as well. And then you can also customize this menu. So if you want to put your own links into this main menu as well, kind of like I was showing you in the resources, these just aren't updated on the fly as much. So like here's a link to our website, for example. This is just a web view, and here's our site from the IXN website. You can also, I've also got a link in here to my Smart Office account here, so where I can log into Smart Office via the mobile app. So you can really kind of customize what links are in here as well. We've had some agencies who've got programs for their agents, email marketing programs, things like that. So you can put whatever you want in there, as well as, and then down at the bottom we have 4 options. We have a contact us, privacy policy terms, and a log out. If I click on contact us, you can actually have multiple options in here. So you can have like your sales team, your marketing team, your case status team, or whatever you want within the contact section with different phone numbers, as well as your social media links and your contact information. This blue button down at the bottom would basically just call it like the main line type of thing. So this is our 1-800 number. Yeah, so you can totally customize that as well. So yeah, those are the features that are available within the mobile app platform. We've seen a lot of agencies have a lot of success. There's great reasons to go mobile. We feel like mobile is the future of selling insurance as far as the agent is concerned. And so, again, this is 100% customized to your agency. You can choose a lot of features. If there's anything you don't like here, like let's say you don't like the pre-screener or something like that, or you want to make your own version of that, all that can be customized here within the mobile app. So yeah, that's what I got to show you on that. I'm just going to show you one more item here, and that's what we call the dashboard. So this is the back-end management tool that comes with all your IXN tools. So it's free. There's no extra cost for this. So when you have any IXN products, so here's where you can see all the different things that are happening within your mobile app. So here's all my members, for example, so I can see all the users who have downloaded the mobile app. Here's where their information is updated, their licensing information, login credentials. So let's say you have an agent who calls you up and says, hey, I can't remember my password. You can come in here and reset it for them. You can also message your users. Remember how I showed you the push notifications feature here? The way you message them is through here. So you come in here and you can either do a message to all members, like, hey, we have a webinar coming up, or you can do an individual message to one user. So if I want to message Spencer here, I can put in a title and a message. There's a if I go back here to my dashboard, there's also a leads tool here. So the leads tool is basically what, so remember how I showed you the consumer tool right at the beginning, and that created a lead. So that was this right here. Here's my lead that came in via the mobile app. And so you can see the lead source, hey, this came in via mobile app. Here's the quote information they were quoted. Here's the information that they filled out. and so you can see all the leads here as well, and you can even assign it. So if I go back to leads here, I can assign it to a specific user, at which point they would get an email saying, hey, you just got a new lead. So I can, if I've got all my agents uploaded here, I can say, hey, I want to assign this lead here to Lassa, and then he would get a notification that says, hey, you just got a new lead. You can also see your e-ticket submitted. So here's where you see all the tickets that have come in through the mobile app. So you can see here's the one that we did. So here you can see the proposed insured's information. You can see the quote information. You can see there's some additional details. So we show you everything except for social. Again, that's security. There's the provider, so hey, this went through Protective. There's a lead source, this came in through the mobile app, and then you can see the agent's information here. And there's status on those. Hey, this went through. They just started it and didn't complete it, or if it has this red button here, it would say, hey, there was an error of some sort, which doesn't happen very often. This is also where you come to set your settings. So here's our mobile app settings here. So I can come in here and I could say, hey, I want to upload a new ad campaign. So here was the one you saw when I was running the quote. You can also do a banner ad in the quote results. So if you want to show like an ad at the top of the quotes, you can control that as well. You can select your carriers and products. Let me refresh this real quick. So you can actually control not just which carriers are quoted in the mobile app, but also which products are quoted from that individual carrier. So for example, if you sell Pacific Life, most people usually sell one of their products, not both. So if I go to Pacific Life here and I click on the menu down at the bottom, you can see for their term they have a prime term and they have a promise term. From what I've heard, most agencies usually sell one or the other. So maybe you don't want to quote the prime term, you just want to quote the promise term within the mobile app. So you can customize that. If I click apply, it'll only quote that. And so you can do that. You can select which carriers you want, which products from those carriers. Right here, you can see the devices. So this is all the devices that have downloaded the app. So if an agent calls you up and says, hey, I lost my phone, I want to make sure nobody has access to it, you can go in here and delete that device and it'll log them out. There's a member access section where you can limit access to certain parts of the app. There's a product types, so this is you can you can select which product types are available to be quoted. We quote term, GUL, and then some variations to that, like return and premium, simplified issue, guaranteed to age 90, 95, things like that. There's a quote action section. This is where you customize what that button does for the e-ticket option. So you can come in here and you can create a new quote action and you can say, hey, I want this to go to a form site form, and you can label it, name it drop ticket, and then you put in the link to that form, and if you have it set up correctly, it'll actually auto-fill that form with any other quote information. You can have it go to one of our direct integrations like Applicant, and so you can see which carriers are available here through Applicant. You can even select which products you want. So if you want, do a form assembly and you want that to be for specific products here with AIG, you can select those. There's a quote promotion, so if you want to promote a specific carrier and product and have it show up at the top even though they may not be the cheapest, that's up to you. There's a resources. This is where I showed you there's a menu option, and then there's a link within those menu where you can customize content within the mobile app. This is where you update that, and that can be updated on the fly. What's really cool about that is a lot of apps, in order to change something like that, you would have to do a app update, which takes multiple days through Apple and things like that, and it's really kind of painstaking. You don't have to do that to update the content within this mobile app. You just come in here, you can add a category here, which is basically like a menu option, and then you can add the actual link down here and put it within any of the menu options. if we go up here to resources, and then last but not least, here's the videos tool. I can then create, add new videos. I could do a little placeholder image. So if I go back to the videos tool, you can see if I click on one of these, I've uploaded this little image. I've got a category, the order of it, the URL, and the name of it that I want it to be named. So those are the settings for the mobile app. The last thing I'm going to show you is the analytics tool. This is really, really cool. None of our competitors really do this. With all your products with IXN, you can see what's being quoted, who's quoting it, and how much that is being quoted. So you can come in here and you can say, hey, any of the quote criteria like face amount, accidental death benefit rider, waiver premium, the product, underwriting class, age, tobacco use, anything that can be put in. So if I want to just see quotes that were run by Lassa L at IXN.tech for the state of California, who have a face amount of over 800,000 and are a 20-year term. That's pretty detailed. So I come in here, let's say I want to change the timeline and say the last 90 days. Come in here, I click apply filters. Here we go. Lassa's run some quotes on that. Quite a few actually. So I can come in here and I can even click on a quote and see what he ran. And so you can really kind of get detailed. So, there's different ways people use this. If you just want to, if you notice an agent who's got an account with you, but they don't run very many quotes, things like that, then you can come in here and see what they've been running and see kind of if they're someone, let's say they're running 500 quotes a month with you, but they're not submitting any business. You could then look them up in the members section and say, hey, Spencer, looks like you're running a lot of quotes on our platform, and we're not seeing you submit any business. How can we get you submitting that business through us? Or whatever you want to do. Some people will actually just delete them from the account, or whatever you want to do. You can use that how you want. But yeah, we've got other products as well, but that's our mobile app platform. That's the front end and back end. Hope you enjoyed watching this video, and hopefully it was helpful to you. Feel free to reach me if you have any questions. My name is Lassa Young, and you can just go to our website at IXN.tech. I'll show you that here real quick at the end. So if anybody wants to get in touch with us, feel free to just call into our sales team. If you go to our website and you slightly scroll down, our phone number appears right up here at the top left. This is our main line here. Or you can just click on request a demo here on our site as well, and that comes to us as well. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this was useful, and hopefully we're building a mobile app for your agency soon.